Statistics say that increasing your curb appeal is going to increase the value of your home between 5 to even 11%. So if you are thinking about jazzing up the front of your home, or you're thinking about selling your home, or you're thinking about the future as an investment, this video is going to be an absolute banger. Pay attention because I got something awesome to share with you about how you can hire somebody or do it yourself, but make money by landscaping. Let's go. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna point out a bunch of really cool tips that are gonna increase the value of the home and make it look really, really pretty. But I'm also gonna tell you all the hidden little secrets that you can do that are why this design really pops off the page versus something that just kind of looks a little off. So let's get right into the design, start firing those away, and then I'm gonna tell you how much this costs if you're to do it yourself, and how much it's gonna cost if you gotta hire a company. And then best of all, how much does this increase the value of your home? Let's go. Okay, so this is a fellow YouTube subscriber, but I don't want you to get intimidated because we are in Florida, and if you're in a climate where some of these plants don't work out, that is not the point of this video. What I'm gonna do is teach you some design techniques that are gonna up your game. It's gonna look awesome and it's gonna up the value. Number one, balance is a very important factor when you are designing, and especially for curb appeal. If you put all this beautiful landscaping on one side of the house, but you neglect the other side, you're kind of missing the mark there. So what you do is you pick out some of those bushes that are kind of your anchor points in the design. In this particular case, we went with Korean boxwoods, and we went with a little bit of a formal drop. So we're lining the driveway, we're cutting it over and let it go down the side of the house, but we're also bringing it on the other side of the driveway so it balances it out and it frames it. It's a cool technique. It doesn't cost a lot of time and money. Basically, you are just lining, dropping in the holes, and making it look pretty darn cool. Next one, focal points. Love focal points. This is something that the eye is going to gravitate towards. This is the kind of elements that make things pop. Instead of taking everything out in this design, we decided to keep the palm tree. It's kind of going with that Florida vibe, and it's got a good little spot on the corner and it looks nice. So we got that guy. But something that anybody can do, that you can do, is putting in a planter that greets you on the way up to the front door. I think there's nothing easier or simpler, yet has so much impact and pop and color than a planter. In this case, we just went with a canna lily that is basically framing that sidewall on the way up to the door, but it adds a lot of interest. It adds some height, it adds some color, it adds texture. It's an easy thing to do, and you absolutely can do this too. The final thing that I want you to look at is layering. This is a design technique where a lot of the times you're gonna start with the bigger stuff in the back and kind of work your way into the middle and into the front, which is what I did here. Don't always have to do that, but one thing that I love to do with layering is use color in the layering. So you can see we got this backdrop of azaleas along the window. Now they may get a little bigger and it may cover up part of the window. So think about that. If you care about the sunlight going in, you don't want anything, you might want to pick something a little smaller. But then you've got those Korean boxwoods for the green, and then in front of those is where we've got some perennials. We got pops of color where we've got some yellows and we've got some purples and we've got some pinks, and then there's boulders. The boulders are key in this design because they're actually breaking it up versus just lining everything. The boulder kind of stops you, and then you kind of look at it and then you circle around to the next, oh, stop again and go. This is a cool technique that I love to do to create interest and also bring some different elements than just all plants and bushes and trees and shrubs into a design. The final thing that you want to do, I got some bonus tips for you here. Edging. Pick solid edging that is not cheap. I don't like the plastic stuff. I like a natural edge, but if you are gonna pick a product, which in this case, we have decorative rock in the bed, so you gotta have something to hold back the rock. We gotta go with some edging. Pick a nice stone edging, something that doesn't look cheap and is colored and goes with the color theme. We picked an edging that is a darker color and it goes with the stucco of the house. So you wanna balance that out. Final thing is light up your investment, but pick lights that go with the theme and the vibe you want. We picked kind of a modern lighting for this particular one, the path lights, and then you've got all the up lights that shine on the houses and the trees and this and that, the focal points. But have fun with those lights because they don't always have to be just that kind of circular that shines down. You can pick stuff that's got some interest to it. Really cool. All right, how much does this cost? If you are going to do this yourself, the rock, the edging, the boulders, the plants, anything that goes into this, the fabric that the rock's gonna set on, like everything, you're gonna be in about, I'd say $5,500 to about $7,000 is what you are going to pay if you install this yourself. There's a lot of stuff going on here. If you hire a company like mine, we do installs like this all the time. These are fun, I love this. There's such instant gratification. You can do something like this in a weekend, which is really cool. This is gonna be between, I'd say 12 to 15 grand if you're paying somebody. So that is how much it costs if you're a DIYer or hiring a company. But here's the real gem of all this. If you're looking at this as an investment, how much is this gonna up the value of your home where it's actually, if you do this, you're making money. That's great. Say this house is $300,000, okay? We'll pick a round number there. And that range I gave you earlier was 5 to 11%. So let's kind of go in the middle and say 8%. It ups the value of the property 8%. I did a little cheating and I wrote this down. 300,000 times 8% is $24,000. That means if you did this yourself on the higher side and paid $7,000, you spent $7,000, 24 minus 7 is, to the late person, 18 grand, right? You just made $18,000 because you enhanced the curb appeal. You go to sell this thing, people are going to be lining up to get inside your door because you've set it up so awesome on the outside. They're like, what is on the inside? You're gonna have a bidding war on this, I'm telling you. Bobby, you stay over there. You know what's embarrassing about this? I have a finance degree and 24 minus 7 is not 18,000, it's 17,000. Ah, gosh. Live and learn, folks. Darn, sorry about that. Come back here. This kind of stuff produces results. That is a DIYer. If you're gonna pay a company, like I said, say you pay $15,000 to put this in. 24 minus 15 is $9,000. You still made $9,000 simply by getting a design, hiring a company, and having them do it all, and you put $9,000 in your pocket. Here's a tip for you. Make sure you get a good design. Set yourself up to win before this. If you want me to design for you, this is a YouTuber. Most of the things you see on this channel are from people who come to the channel. Go on the links below. I'd love to help you. And if you would like to see another really, really cool curb appeal video, go watch this. This is awesome. It's packed with all kinds of cool information and a lot of statistics that I know you're gonna love. This is Bobby K saying creation is everything, so go out and create. See you on the next video.